I am going to attempt to locate where the stud is in this wall so that I can mount a small TV to this wall. So those of you that don't know, a stud is the wood. They're usually 2x4 or 2x6s. They basically are used to set up the structure of a wall. So if you're building a room, you're typically going to use, so by this being an inner room in the house, I guarantee you these are 2x4 inch studs behind the wall. So when you're mounting something heavy, such as a TV, you want to make sure that you hit the wood that's behind these walls. So I'm going to attempt to use my stud finder to kind of show you how they work, but this thing is probably 20 years old and it's been acting up lately, so we'll see how it works. So here's my stud finder. It's made by Zircon. I know Zircon still makes them. This particular stud finder works. It's a little finicky, so I have to hit it a couple of times to get it to where the light's a solid green. And then what I do is I start moving it along the wall until I get this arrow. This arrow should be telling me that right here is where the edge of the stud is, or the wood. But typically what you would do is you would come from this side and go back the other way. And then, so if you look at the distance, here's where the first mark was, or the second mark. So right there, that's about the width of a stud, of a standard stud. So this is telling me that my wood should be here. One of the tricks I learned years ago is to take a magnet, because a magnet will pick up any screws that are used to screw the drywall to the 2x4s. So if I go in this area, and like I said, the only reason I'm doing this is because I know for a fact that my stud finder has been acting funny, and I know with it being over 20 years old, it's probably time for a new one. The good thing about it is they actually make apps now for your phone that work just as good, if not better, than some of the stud finders that they make. So anyway, what I do is I'm taking my magnet now, I'm just moving it across the wall here to try to gauge where the screw is. And I found it. Okay, so right here is where there's a screw behind this magnet, because I know the magnet's stuck to it. So if you don't have a stud finder and you're trying to figure out where the wood is behind the wall, the drywall, use a magnet. It should stick right to the nail, and then just get you a level and figure out where your straight line is. So your wood should come straight through this area. So what I'm going to do, since my stud finder is acting finicky, my plan is to mount this particular TV here. I'm going to take this TV and I'm going to basically, now that I know that my stud is behind this particular part of the wall, when I drill my hole here and I drill my hole here, I know I'll be going into the wood. One little trick that you can do before you start drilling is to use a very small drill bit just to make a small pinhole. And if you drill in, you should see wood on the end of your drill bit. That just confirms that your location of where you believe the wood is exactly in that location. I'm pretty confident that this is where the wood is, because like I said, the magnet is showing me that there is a screw there, and you can't screw a drywall to nothing. You have to screw it to the wood that's behind the wall, or you have to screw it to the stud. So anyway, long story short, my plan is to put a bolt here and a bolt here, and then I will have my TV, which is just a small TV. I probably don't even need to go on the wood because it's not very heavy. But I just wanted to mount a small little TV on the wall here for when we have guests over. So that is the plan. So if you have any questions or comments, please drop them in the comment section down below. I'm going to steal my magnet here, but again, this is a cool little hack if you've never used it. If you don't have a stud finder, I would advise you to do this. It's worked like a charm for me. All right, until next time.